My husband went on a final date with his ex a week before we got married, to ensure she wasn't the one who got away. According to everyone around him, he ended things with her because he didn't see a future with her. But everyone was shocked because she was so good and beautiful. Then we met, and I quickly realized that everyone on his side preferred her. I even heard some people refer to me as Camilla, although I'm neither much older nor less attractive, in my opinion. I love how I look, even if I don't fit the typical beauty standards. Tall, blonde, blue eyes, etc., like his ex. He never gave me any reason to doubt him. He gave me the impression that he knew exactly what he wanted and was secure enough in his heart that he told me he loved me a few months into our relationship. I never felt like he was lying or that I wasn't enough. He was fully aware of what people thought about him leaving his ex, and he gave the impression that he thought they were silly and childish. He told his mom that I was the one he chose, and if she wanted to be a part of it, she needed to clean up her act. We got married 3 years ago, and only now I found out that he went on a date with his ex just a few days before our wedding. He wanted to know for sure that she wasn't, like everyone around him thought, the one who got away. He wanted to be 100% sure. His mom told me this gleefully when she visited our new baby. She looked at my daughter and said she wondered what would have happened if he had changed his mind after that date, and if she would be visiting their baby now, my husband and the one who got away. With a sigh, but gleefully, you know what I mean. I haven't spoken to him for a week. I hate giving the silent treatment, but I just can't talk to him. It isn't something I'm doing to punish him or manipulate him or to gain the upper hand to control him. I just can't look at him or talk to him. Am I wrong for this silent treatment? Edits. He was there when it happened. He told his mom to shut up and admitted he went on the date. He confirmed that the reason his mom told me was the truth. Story 1, Update 1. My husband and I have talked. Well, he did most of the talking, and I listened. I asked him for the honest truth. He said that he got cold feet and was panicking about why nobody saw what he saw. He showed me texts from his family and friends up until our wedding, where people were asking him why he was doing this and if he was really sure. His sister said he was making a huge mistake. After the wedding, however, everyone stopped, and they basically told him they respected his decision even if they couldn't understand it. I never felt like they liked me, but I did notice that they were less intense and rude after the marriage. But starting now, less rude isn't enough for me anymore. 2. The date was just dinner and wine. He understood it was wrong the second he sat at the table, but he didn't want to just leave because it would have been weird and rude to ditch her when he was the one who made the dinner plans. 3. He didn't tell me because he knew I would call off the wedding and think it was bigger than it was. He didn't want to hurt me. He said that he loved me from the day we met, and that has never changed. 4. He's going no contact with his sister, mother, and most of his friends and family. His decision, not mine. His father is the one member who genuinely loves me. I have no problem having him in my life. 5. We're far from okay. I told him I needed time because we can't make any decisions right now. We need to concentrate on our baby. I don't want us to miss out on her first weeks. There's something new with her every day, and I don't want us to miss that. I don't want this experience to be tainted with heartbreak. I refuse to miss out on the joy my baby has brought into my life. I see therapy and counseling in the future, but not right now. I don't want that. We'll either come out stronger or we'll separate. 6. I'm 3 years older than my husband and 8 years older than his ex. To the people in my DMs calling me ugly and jealous, I am neither. Not every girl dreams of being tall and blonde. Not every man likes tall and blonde. Only incels think that Stacy is gold and nothing else. 7. They broke up because my husband didn't develop feelings for her. When he realized it wasn't happening, he ended things because he was looking for love. So no, I wasn't the backup. Even if many people in my previous post thought it was a good idea to call me a backup, adding more insult to injury. What kind of satisfaction do you get from that? Story 2 comes from Supply Christmas or Get the Out. It says we, husband, 32M, and me, 26F, have been told by his brother, 37M, and sister-in-law, 30SF, that we should supply all Christmas gifts for the kids due to our lack of kids. My husband has a very large family. In total, I think his father has 8 brothers and sisters. They all got married and had 2 to 6 children each. Now their children are grown up and starting families as well. We're easily looking at 15 children in the family as of right now. We all get together for Christmas every year at his grandparents' house. Sounds great, right? Right. Story 2 comes from Supply Christmas or Get the Out. It says we, husband, 32M, and me, 26F, have been told by his brother, 37M, and sister-in-law, 30SF, that we should supply all Christmas gifts for the kids due to our lack of kids. My husband has a very large family. In total, I think his father has 8 brothers and sisters. They all got married and had 2 to 6 children each. Now their children are grown up and starting families as well. We're easily looking at 15 children in the family as of right now. We all get together for Christmas every year at his grandparents' house. Sounds great, right? Right. I'm not a super social person, so I spent most of Thanksgiving reading a book and watching one of the youngest cousins sleep. Eventually, we all gathered up so the kids could draw names of their cousins for the gift swap. They finished that up, and then my husband's brother, who we'll just call Timmy, says, "And Uncle Husband will buy all the kids a gift too." To which my husband and I gave him looks of, "What the?" We laughed and said, "Oh no, we'll just be bringing the candy again this year." His brother started in, saying we should buy all of the children gifts since we have none, and that it wasn't very Christian of us not to bless the children with our good fortune. My husband, at this point, pulled him aside into the kitchen and told him he wasn't buying all the cousins' gifts, and if he wanted to, he was welcome to. They started to argue, and Timmy yelled that we shouldn't come to Christmas anymore. I handed over the baby. We left and said we'd email them about it later when they'd calmed down enough to talk like adults. But just like someone else's viewpoint, my husband is really upset, and his parents are agreeing with Timmy that we should be buying more gifts since we have no one to buy them for but kids now. He threw the fact that we get no gifts from anyone at them, and they said, "We're adults now, and Christmas is for kids." He pointed out that they still gift Timmy and his wife things, but they said, "We've already bought it, might as well." I've been shopping with his mother, and she bought gifts for Timmy's wife, Candy, again this year already. I'm frustrated and feel like no one is handling any of this well. I want to step in and help my husband, but I want someone else to look at this message before I do anything other than listen and offer suggestions using "I feel this when you this" to his parents. Story 2 Update 1. Thanks to everyone who contributed their thoughts. It was wonderful to hear from others without worrying if they'd repeat my words to the other party involved. I'm not 100% sure where to start. I'm about 3 drinks in just to calm myself. But here it goes. First, I did show my husband the post after we talked. I brought up Thanksgiving 2015 and asked him if he wanted more input than I usually give on his family drama. He said yes. I pointed out the favoritism his brother receives over him in almost everything. I made a list showing times when it happened, where they and he were clearly in the wrong, just to prove the point. He went over the texts from his brother, sister-in-law, mother, father, aunt, and cousin. Just to recap, names are brother, Timmy, sister-in-law, Candy, mother, Rhonda, father, Keith, aunt, Kara, cousin, Ben, husband, Todd. So the day after I posted, we went over the texts, which started after we missed their call and went up until we sent the email. It was all just spiteful underscore about how we waste our money, time, and life volunteering, and don't spend enough time with their children, cousins' children, or family anymore. It started out with them calling Todd a candy ass underscore who is whipped by his cold, harpy, child-hating wife. And it just degraded from there. Todd only sent back a few texts, saying to email him about it, and asking them not to talk about me. So we sent the email. Here's basically what we sent. I semi-edited it to make it sound like it was just from him. We almost added his parents in, but decided to just forward it to them if things got really out of hand. No problem. Timmy did it for him. Yes, that went over as well as water on a grease fire. Timmy forwarded the email to Rhonda, Keith, Kara, and Ben. That was rude, but we were going to do the same thing anyway. Ben sent us an email letting us know what Timmy did and said he was sorry he wasn't there to jump in, but would try to talk to Timmy. Timmy and Ben are really close, so it was nice to see that Ben thought Timmy was being unreasonable too, since they're normally very close and like-minded. I'm not going to post Ben's email here, but I'll highlight what he said and then tell you what Keith and Rhonda said in their email/visit. I'm a cold, child-hating harpy who sleeps around. I'm an atheist or a Muslim or something. They never really decided. I'm dragging Todd away from the church and his family. We don't spend any time at all with the family anymore. We never spend any time with our nieces and nephews. We're wasting our life, time, and money volunteering with animals and helping refugees, which was labeled as un-American. This is apparently my fault, since I'm a first-generation American and don't understand what it means to be one or deserve to live here. I'm rude and never talk to them unless it's about animal rescue or animal rights. Yeah, so at this point, we're kind of laughing, crying, and shocked. We spent the rest of the day cleaning up our house and talking about what we wanted to do in reply. We hadn't checked our email and had put our phones on vibrate, just trying to enjoy our day off together. Those are pretty rare, sadly. So surprise. His parents drove all the way out to talk to us. I say talk, but it was more like being talked at. They asked me to leave so they could talk to Todd about his actions and the rude email. Todd said no, that I was his family and his wife, and we were handling this together. They tried to convince us that we'd said IT in front of the family. We didn't, and that we didn't love Jesus anymore since we hadn't been going to church. They also mentioned some of what Timmy said in the email, when his father started to insult me, and then, in turn, my father, Todd, was done. He stood up and said, "Thank you for coming to visit us in our home for the first time, but we have errands to run, and you need to leave now." They refused. He told them they had to go now, or he'd call the police. They left. He cried, I cried, and our cats knocked over their cups. Where did that come from? Well, that one knocked me sideways. We ended up calling my dad and telling him everything, as well as showing him both emails. He told us they'd talked about us to him before, saying things like, "You should be able to fix your child." We're still working on what we should do. Todd said he just wants it to be small and doesn't mind where Christmas happens, and said he felt closer to my dad and brother anyway. We told Ben what happened and shipped his gift to him. We haven't decided yet what to do with the nieces and nephews' gifts, but I've already donated all the adult gifts. I'd also like to add that I'm not of another ethnicity. My father is German and moved to the US when he was 20 to marry my mother, so I'm a pasty white chick. But I guess my dad is an American, and that's bad. Opie comes in with another update and says, "I wish this update was about how we all made up and how Christmas will be great, but it's not." Yesterday, we had a small Christmas party with some friends, since we'll be leaving on the 24th for the holiday. Myself, Todd, Dad, and my brother, who I'll call Theo, attended. My friend Sandy, who grew up near me, has been a friend for years and has also become friends with Timmy and his wife. They are friends together on Facebook. We had told her about a tiff, but didn't elaborate to avoid damaging their friendship. Big mistake. Sandy tagged us in her "Woo, look at my gift. My friend is leaving me for Christmas" post. The photo shows the two of us drinking while dancing around her new Roomba. I should note that this gift wasn't just for Christmas. It was also for her birthday, wedding, and as a housewarming gift, as she and her soon-to-be husband Bill just bought a new townhouse near us. Normally, I wouldn't buy something that expensive just for Christmas. Timmy saw the post. Not only did he take offense at our drinking, none of them drink and they're against it, but he also flipped out over her getting a Roomba. He lost it in the comments and then showed up at our apartment. I was in the shower when Timmy arrived. I heard someone knocking on the door. It had to be pretty loud to hear it from the master bedroom shower. I finished my shower around the midpoint of Todd and Timmy's argument. Todd told me that Timmy was practically beating down the door. He opened it, but refused to let Timmy come any further into the hallway. Tim was yelling about the gift, about our lack of church attendance, about us going out of town, and demanding his kids' gifts, which I had already donated. He then asked how we could justify buying such an expensive gift for someone who isn't related, while being selfish jerks about gifting the other children. At this point, I came out of the shower after putting on pajamas. It was nearly 1 a.m. I saw Timmy and was shocked. Todd told Tim that it was late and that we could talk about this when we got back from holiday, perhaps with the pastor. Tim pushed Todd, who fell back into the wall, leaving a dent. This woke up my dad and Theo. I moved in front of Todd as Timmy was pulling back to hit him, but he ended up hitting me, knocking me down on top of Todd. Dad and Theo restrained him. Our next door neighbor was woken up and called 911. The cops arrived, separated all of us, and we explained what had happened, but didn't mention the other problems. Just said there had been a Christmas disagreement. The officers also called an ambulance since Todd cut his arm on a dish that broke, and my face was quickly turning purple. The EMS who showed up knew Todd and were very upset about him and me being hurt. The cops asked if we wanted to press charges. I started to say no, but Todd said yes, so Tim was arrested. We went to the ER because Todd needed stitches. Our phones have been blowing up ever since. I turned mine off after telling Sandy not to let Tim and Candy see any posts about us since they're pissed at us. She agreed. I went through my friends list and unfriended or grouped anyone who was also friends with any in-laws into a restricted group, so they can't see anything we're up to. Rhonda and Keith have been blowing up Todd's phone. He's only responded via text, stating what happened, that we won't drop charges or pay Tim's bail, and that they need to stop contacting us. Between the last update and this one, we spoke to some other family members, and they all said they disagreed with Timmy. His grandparents said the same, but they couldn't host Christmas and couldn't stop him from uninviting us. They said they would talk to him, and we were like, okay, cool, maybe next year we can be friends again. But that isn't the case anymore. There is no coming back from this. We'll be filing a restraining order when we get home. Todd is talking about moving us out of our home state. Dad and Theo think this is a good idea. Dad is annoyed that I wouldn't let him hit Tim, so he's sulking a bit. But I think he's more upset that we've lost another family. So yeah, I get to enjoy my trip with a black eye/cheek. Todd has a 4-inch gash on his arm. Dad is sulking. And Theo is happy because he's smoking pot. So, an A plus Christmas. As you probably guessed from the dates in this post, this incident happened some time ago, and I'm still trying to reflect on it and wonder what will happen next. You know that this isn't the end of that drama. This level of crazy doesn't just stop there. Imagine getting so riled up over a Facebook post that a Roomba of all things sent Timmy over the edge. A Roomba! As I was reading what was going on, I visualized Timmy bursting through the door, seeing the Roomba, and then just freaking out, kicking it out the window while yelling, "Roomba!" and causing chaos around the apartment. But wow, I'd agree with getting out of that state. Getting out of that area if you can. I know it's extreme, but for your own peace of mind, for your own sanity, it doesn't seem that big when you put it that way. What do you all make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you for being here today. Getting involved in the stories. Your love, support, and time always mean the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.